We're good.
Imagine.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Contest of Speed Americas. We're live from Monza, the Temple of Speed, for the final round of this week's Contest of Speed Championship. My name is Dan, I will be your commentator tonight, as I have been so far this season. And for the third race in a row, I've got a different commentator next to me. First it was Two Spell, then it was Pure Blades. Now it's Thomas.
Hey, welcome. Yeah, happy to be here. A little bit late, and yeah, but it's good to be in the commentary box again. Yeah, enjoyable.
Yeah, so we've had some pretty good races here this week, actually, haven't we? I think Tier 3s was. Yeah,
it's an enjoyable track. Lots of overtaking possibilities. So yeah, it's never a doubt that this is a track for some great races. So hopefully these American guys can do the same job as the European guys did. So we've got to wait and see, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure they can as well. So Tier 3 on Monday was full of crashes. Tier 2 was full of overtakes, really, wasn't it? And then Tier 1 was full of drama, especially at the end.
Yeah. Oh, Bullet Boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, I feel so bad for him.
I know. I've been in that position as well, so yeah. Not what you want.
No, it's a shame, but I'm sure he'll pick himself up, dust himself off and go again. He's got the pace to do so. So, welcome you 7, you early viewers. Straight in, I love it.
I love the helmet from the undercut. It looks really good with the Williams. It matches really well. I like that.
Yeah. That is good, yeah. Got a great shot of it over the shoulder.
Oh yeah, now we get... Oh yeah.
Nice. So, first man across was Fenrique. We'll jump on board with him. He heads out of turn 1, up through the Curva Grande, out towards the second chicane. He had a bit of a... he had a strange race last time out because he was really quick, but he got into a lot of tangles with other drivers, so it pushed him quite far down. Got some damage early on. Otherwise, he would have been up there with the battle for the win with the two Ferraris and his teammate. So
yeah, that's what it takes to be a good driver as well. You need to have the pace, of course, but when you once or twice get into the mix of things and when you're in the middle of the pack, it really takes a skill to get out of that clean and its way through up the field again. I know Fruitful in Tier 1 is good at it, Altair is good at it as well. Well, for example, I am a little bit rough sometimes, and when I want to make an overtake and make mistakes where I lock up, and it really costs me a lot of time. And when you look at the guys of Altair and Fruitful, they get through the field very cleanly. They go up there, and after 5 laps or something, they're already back. And that's really a skill that you need to have, as Frederick would say in a 1:20.2, good banker lap for him.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. It's been really well, especially at the start. If you can get through a start clean, then chances are you're going to do okay. So I've only managed to do one clean start so far, and that was yesterday. That was Tuesday, even not yesterday.
Hey, you had a good start, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a shame about that. I'm hoping to get one of those penalties taken off, and then I'll keep P4, but I'm clutching a little bit. Let's go to our championship leader, Mitch. in the Ferrari at Monza. Hopefully he can do what none of the rest of us could in Team Ferrari and get himself a victory. Teammate behind him.
Not working together though. Maybe something they're gonna do at the end of the session. I know a lot of the guys did earlier this week working together. You saw all the teammates working together to get that absolute slipstream of Mitch was 119.7. It's a good first lap, and maybe now he's helping Juventus to give him a little bit of a slipstream.
Maybe, yeah. Let's jump on board with Juventus and have a look. They need to be careful. There's a racing point behind them, so that'll be Big Slater. I don't know if he's. Oh no, he's gone into the pits, so it won't be. Mitch keeping out of the way of Juventus for the time being, so he's not going to be affected by the dirty air. But where do you think he's going to use the toe? Up towards Ascari or after it?
Maybe if he's smart after it, because Juventus will get a DRS on this straight, but it looks like they're gonna give it now.
Yeah, because you really don't want dirty air into Ascari, do you?
No, you don't want it, but maybe yes. This is smart play. This is smart play because this is all right. And now, because this is the part of the track where you don't get DRS, so this is where you want the toe, because this really makes a difference here. This is an absolute brilliant
from the Ferraris.
Perfectly educated, and now it's only Parabolica for the taking. Juventus coming up to the line. Let's see what his slipstream brought him. It's in 119.5. Good lap time.
Nice.
Yeah, that just gives you those little 2, maybe 3 tenths extra. Especially on the part of the track where you don't get DRS, that is where it makes the most difference. You can do it on the start-finish straight, but you get DRS as well, so you will hit that top speed anyway. I'm not before Parabolica, so really good strategy from Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely. You and Thomas tried to do it as well, didn't you, yesterday?
Yep. Yeah, we tried it all practice sessions long. But then it was dry, and I'm terrible in the wet, so I struggled a lot to keep up with Thomas when he wanted to give me slipstream, but I helped him giving him slipstream, so at least it worked one way around.
Yeah,
that was decent.
The other championship challenger, Alp, puts in the fastest lap, 19.3 on his first attempt. 2
Mercedes not working together at least, they're all spread out on the track, so...
Yeah, but it is Mercedes, Ferrari, Mercedes, Ferrari.
Interesting.
We'll see how we go. Let's jump on board with Wing It. He had a great race last time out in France. He was unlucky though not to get any more out of that race. Some damage, not his fault. We've got a yellow in sector 2. Is that someone getting out of the way?
I think that it was the undercut, because he was coming back on track. Don't know if he made a mistake, it doesn't look like it. His wing is still okay, I reckon. Don't have a view of it now.
Yeah, wing it's bailed out, but let's jump to the undercut and see if there's any wing damage there.
Let's see, now we can see it. It looks okay from my part, so
yeah, he's good.
Should we go? I think he just spun, or he let a car through, because there is a car in front of him, so maybe that was the case.
Yeah, is that the Renault of Forza Freddo? Indeed it was, through the Parabolica. He's got wing damage though.
And he's coming in.
Yeah. Well, he's on the mediums as well, so that's not a tyre set. I
don't really think that's the strategy you want to go on with the medium tyres, because it is an easy soft to medium around here. And I don't think you will gain any advantage on starting on the mediums, except for starting outside of the top 10. That can give you an advantage like you have in your tier 2 race. But I think if you want to be inside the top 10, it really makes no difference to be on the medium tyres, because you will be in the slipstream train that will be created here, so it doesn't really matter on what tire you are. If you don't have the top speed and you're stuck in the train, you can't get anywhere. Ooh, as the undercut goes wide, takes a little bit of the gravel.
He's keeping his foot in though. The lap's still on for him. He does need to get a time on the board as well, so I suppose he might as well finish.
Good morning, KV. He's still awake as well.
Good Man,
my
good
days.
man. KV's here, our first ever Twitch subscriber.
Absolute legend.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else wants to subscribe to us, please do. We love you for it, and we will forever love you for it. If you're thinking though, oh, I don't want to spend £10, euros, dollars a month on a subscription, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get it for free.
I mean, it's €5 to be fair.
Is it only €5?
Yeah.
I thought it was
So
10
that's
and then
even
it got
less
split in
pound, I
half.
think.
If it, no, it'll be equivalent,
That's
won't it?
still the
It'll
case with
it'll
the
still be
Brexit.
5. No, don't. Just no.
Don't start on the Brexit around here.
No.
I think that's not the ideal situation you want to be in.
Man, we've got an election to deal with first. I don't want to think about Brexit. The undercut went P5, by the way, 120.2. But yes, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get a free subscription. One free subscription. The only difference between that and a normal one is that you have to renew. Oh, the undercut! Ooh, lost it through Lesmo 2. Thankfully on his cooldown lap, no damage. Took out he took out the DRS board. Ooh, struggling a bit there. Let's jump across to the Ferraris. Mitch and Juventus out again.
Juventus just helped Mitch, and Mitch did a 119.351, so he's just behind Alpu. And now he's probably trying to help Juventus again like he did on his first run.
Yeah.
So it looks like it, because they're doing exactly the same thing. Juventus behind now, Mitch has set his lap, and now it's time for Juventus to shine. They're doing a brilliant job. At least something we guys couldn't do it.
So these guys have been carrying the torch for us so far this season. They've racked up more points than the rest of us combined, I think.
Well, no.
Maybe
we
with the exception of
Ferrari and Tier
Fruitful.
1 are up there as well, because that's fully because of Fruitful. So it's
Yeah.
not because of me.
Well,
Yeah, they're doing
you've done your
the
part.
same thing around here now. Brilliant toe once again.
Yeah. Stay on board.
All good parabolic, great downshift. It really helped him through there.
Yeah, gave him that
great
traction, sat the
apex.
arse of the car down. And he takes
yes.
pole. 119.327 for Juventus.
And that Tifosi goes wild.
Yeah. I tell you what,
And the commentators as well, a little bit biased, but it doesn't really matter.
Go Juventus! I tell you what, when I was there last year, man, that when Raikkonen went across the line, I've never heard a sound like it. Man,
When they're playing the national anthem.
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I love Italian.
Yeah.
Those guys were amazing. The passion they threw in everything. It's not even Formula 1, it's football, it's just everything. It's lovely, absolutely amazing stuff.
I love it. Like when the Italian national team is out singing the national anthem and they all full go for it and give it everything. Oh.
They don't got a voice left after the national anthem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter if it's football, handball, basketball. Everyone does it, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Jumping across to Baker, currently in P5. I think he's on an in-lap though. I think he's just set that at 19.8. Let's go to Boddard in P10. He's on a lap at the moment, or is he just beaten it? I think he's just finished one.
He is still in ERS mode 3, so he's sort of pushing, I guess.
I suppose he'll want to get back to the pits and get one more run in, won't he?
Yeah, he will have time enough though. It's a short lap around here, so you can go out really late compared to other tracks, for example Monza or something, or Spa or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lap of almost 2 minutes. It's terrible.
Yeah. So I messed up my timers last night. I thought I got it just perfect to get round, and then I had to wait and let someone through, and it screwed me.
Yeah, me and Thomas pushed to the absolute limit, but it's just not enough to get 4 runs in. It's on the edge. Like you can cut the track. That will give you the 4th run, but yeah, if you get caught with it, the penalty is a bit or not a bit, it's really harsh. So, and yeah, you don't want to take that risk.
No. Let's see, who can we jump on board with? Raidcon in the McLaren, Tier 3 driver. Performed well actually on Monday.
We got another subscriber.
Have we?
Through Moa. He's a subscriber as well. Don't know when he did it, but at least he's a subscriber as well.
Hey!
That's sick.
Good man.
Trace Prime, it says. Great job. Love that to see.
Yes. See, we're making moves, we're making movements. Raidcon bailing out of his lap. He's going to come in, put a fresh set on, and probably go. And him and Fred are onto one shot.
Yeah, those guys not able to put in a lap. For Fredo, he went out on the medium tire, so now he's finally going out on the soft tire. So this is time for him to shine. Raycon on the soft tire came in, and he needs to hurry up though, because otherwise he has to rush his outlap as well. As the Ferraris are going out, I guess.
The Mercedes are already out. Are they helping each other, or are they in separate?
They're close, but they're not helping each other. Nope. Because Elpo is going through Parabolica now, and Frederick is going up to Ascari, so they're close, but not in the reach of helping each other. So they're gonna do it on their own.
Okay.
And I think the Ferraris as well, because Juventus. Oh no, Juventus is waiting. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Messi's coming out of the pits now. Juventus is waiting after the chicane, so they're gonna work together.
They're not gonna have time, are they? To do.
Well, only one person, so I think Mitch will get preference because he's in P3. Juventus already got pole position, so I think they want to get the 1-2 and try to get Mitch up there.
You say that though, but there's only less than half a tenth between them. In fact, there's a quarter of a tenth between them.
True. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, let's have a look and see what Fenrique's doing. See how his lap time's shaping up. It comes up towards Ascari, the sector 2 split. He's currently a 10th up, so he will take pole if he can keep that in the green.
Near Resmo 2 through the Lesmos, now back to 1. Is that because of saving ERS for the end of the lap, or is he just cruising to get another lap in?
Is this Fenrique or Alp? So I'm on board with Alp, he's on mode 4.
Okay, oh sorry, I'm on board with Federica.
Alp takes pole
puts it in
with a 19.2. Fenrique...
So the Ferraris needs to push.
Fenrique
is going for another lap, I think, because he was running ERS mode 1 and 2 for the whole lap, so he's going again. The two Ferraris, they need to push.
Yeah, they do.
And they're definitely working together, because Juventus is just in front of Mage. But Juventus is pushing as well, to be fair, so I think they're just going on their own.
Yeah, I think you're right, that they're not close enough to affect one another. Not really. I mean, if Juventus invalidates, then I suppose he can drop in and give Mitch that toe, but obviously he won't want to. Mitch through sector 1 is currently down. Juventus runs wide at the second chicane. That's going to be his time gone.
Oh, Mitch gives up as well. Mitch gives up.
Oh, so Mitch will start P3. Juventus is... Yep, no, he's given up.
No. Yeah,
Juventus is given up.
Now it's the Mercedes of Frederica. Can he do something great here? He needs to improve by 3/10 at least to make it a 1-2 for Mercedes.
He's currently 2 up.
Yep. Ooh, cautious through Ascari, but fair enough. He's through it.
He's running ERS mode 4. I mean, that takes some serious guts.
But this is where the Ferraris got their slipstream.
Yeah, that's true.
So he will probably lose time compared to them. Let's see.
He retakes P4, but no more than that.
So it's a sandwich. Ferraris in the Mercedes sandwich. This is gonna be lovely. I think Juventus and Mitch are in a prime position though to make an overtake on Alp into turn 1. Juventus, if he gets a better start, is already side by side, and Mitch, he will get slipstream from Alp and maybe even from Juventus as well. So yeah, they will definitely try to make an overtake, and otherwise you got 27 laps ahead of you with a lot of overtaking opportunities. So as long as you can stay within that 1 second to get the DRS, or even if you can get that slipstream on lap 1 or 2, you can make an overtake really easily.
Yeah, so I mean, I know what we'll be hoping for into turn 1. That's both Ferraris 1 and 2 leading the way, with Alp dropping in behind, but we of course have to be impartial. Who's the last man on? It's Forza Fredo waiting for his car to finish in the pits, and Mitch as well, who has. So just Fredo.
He hasn't been able to set in a lap, so
he must have invalidated that final time.
Back to grid.
Interesting. Watch out for him. He's got the potential to do some damage. So has Arbar actually. Where's he starting? P7 for the Alfa Romeo. We'll see how we go. But Alp is on pole in the Mercedes, 119.254, with the Ferraris of Juventus and Mitch close behind. His teammate Fenrique, again in P4, only a 10th and 3/4 behind. And then you start to see a little bit of a gap forming. Further 3/10 to Big Slater. And then even further back to Baker, Arbar, Wingett, Fredo, DTN. Those guys are your top 10. All of them starting on the soft tyre. The other guys in order, which I forgot to look at and didn't see, will have free choice of tyre to go with what they want, but it's wet.
It's raining. Oh. In tier 1 it was a different way round, wet quali, dry race. Now these guys a dry quali but a wet race. Ooh, interesting.
Which puts some of those times into very interesting proportion, because those times aren't exactly slow for dry setups. So is it going to dry out? Is it only going to be intermediate? I mean, it looks intermediate to me at the minute. I think these guys are going to start on them. But it's then, is it going to dry out? Are we going to see them go onto a softer, into a dry compound?
It would be the best for us viewers as well, if we got like the weather transition from wet to dry. Because then you will have the team play as well. Because if, for example, both Mercedes and Ferrari drivers are close to each other, who's gonna pit first, who's gonna take the risk? You always got the 1 or 2 drivers on the grid who will take the risk and go out on the dry tires, for example, at the first place. And then you can compare the times to the guys on the inter tires to see if it's quick or not, and that's lovely to see. So hopefully it dries up. But otherwise, it's very interesting to see how quick everyone is in the wet.
Be interesting to see whether some of the drivers further down the field have gone for a wetter setup, a more grip-based, higher downforce set of wings.
Don't forget, these guys knew it was gonna rain in the race, so maybe they adjusted their setup to be quick. But as I looked at the lap times, because it was a 19.2, that's not particularly slow. So maybe that says that the track is drying up and they're just focusing on the second half of the race where it's gonna be dry, and running that dry setup instead of focusing on the first half of the race with a wet setup.
Yeah, you never know. We'll find out in due course. But either way, this looks like it's going to be exciting. Hopefully, it won't be 2009 levels of. Was it 2009 or was it 2008 where everybody crashed in the rain? Might know.
Yeah, I was 7, so.
Oh yeah, pull the age card now.
This is where the big difference is made. I don't know. I can't remember. Is that where Vettel took pole position?
Yeah, it's 2008 then, isn't it?
Yeah, I only know that he took pole position in the Toro Rosso and absolutely dominated the race. That's the first time I heard the name of Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, I think it was for everybody. Okay, here we go. The cars lining up on the grid.
As usual, love a wet dry race, we hope as well. Let's wait and see.
Let's see how we do. I've not got my mug of tea either. And every time I've had a mug of tea so far. Just to keep me going. Keep the Britishness alive. But here we go. Race 3 of the Contest of Speed America's Championship is... go! DTN gets a jump start.
And the Williams gets off the line terribly. Who is that?
Look
That's
at Juventus
Baker.
go. And Fenrique behind. Look at those two go. Straight up into first and second. Mitch and Alp are getting swamped. Slater's gone and he's taken one with him. He's taken Fenrique with him. Which gives
at the start.
That gives Juventus the lead. Big look at Wing It up to P3. Wing It up 5 places, DTN up 5 places, but he's got his drive through, of course. Fenrique down to 7th. Juventus takes the lead. Wing It challenging Alp for the 2nd place. Mitch tucks in 4th. He'll be happy there, just hold his ground. If it does dry out, we know Mitch will be quicker when it does. Oh, Juventus runs wide though. A lot of guys running wide down there. Oh, someone's gone, someone's gone.
Oh, it's a big crash.
Big pile up at the back. Potential safety car.
Fredo, undercut.
Both Williams cars were in there involved. No one's retired though, somehow. So that's Forza Fredo, the undercut. Grugrox King looks like he's got out of that unscathed. Big Slater we know had problems at turn 1, he went deep there, but he doesn't have any wing damage. Baker does have wing damage, but not as strong or as bad as his teammate. DTN's boxed for his drive-through penalty. Probably sensible given all these guys behind with damage. Baker's having to continue on because the undercut of course has no wing at all. Was DK involved in that? Raidcom's come into the pits as well.
Oh, and there's Alp making a move on Juventus on the braking. Really confident on the braking from Alp. And now it's Juventus dropping down to P2, but the two Ferraris are all over the back of the Mercedes.
Yeah, what's happened to Wing It? He's dropped right back. He must have made a mistake somewhere. Maybe turn 1, gone deep.
Or wing damage, doesn't look like it.
No.
I think it was just a mistake. Now his wing is still okay, so it must have been a mistake from the Renault driver, and that allows Arbar and Frederick to gain some positions. That they're up to P4 and P5 now, but a little bit of a gap to the top 3 ahead of them. So Arbar needs to do his absolute best to get back into the slipstream.
Yeah, well, we saw Arbar on Tuesday in the Tier 2 race. Did quite well on the medium tyre and then undercut to get a really good run. Although I thought behind him, I was sat there and I thought he pitted a lap or two too early. I thought if he'd gone maybe 1 lap later he would have done a lot better.
Here we go, Juventus.
Yep.
Round the outside, is he gonna go for it? Brakes late, confident this time, round the outside, turns into the inside now. And that's a lovely move. Leave each other the room, big respect from both drivers, and that's Juventus back up to P1. And Mitch is just having the best view on it.
He certainly is. And Arbar's going around the outside of Fenrique. Through the Curva Grande, who's going to have the corners on the brakes? It's Arbar, but he's cut and he's run wide. That's going to allow Fenrique.
Oh no! Wing it! He got collected. Yeah, that's really unlucky.
No damage on the Renault though, crucially. He slots in ahead of Baker. Such a great start for him, and now it's... To be fair, he's not actually lost any places net to where he started. That's how good his start was. to be right up there with the lead. Mitch still close to the back of Alp, but Alp looks like he's going to go for a move on Juventus down into the Parabolica. Indeed he is. But Juventus...
This is the opportunity for Mitch to make a double overtake.
Yeah, get a double toe, go for it into turn 1, but I think Juventus is going to have a move as well.
Oh, yellow, Crew. Just before Ascari, he's off.
Jump to it in a second. Juventus again on the outside at turn 1. Mitch is lurking, and Juventus gets it done before the corner this time, but he runs a little bit deep, and Alt might be able to get the switch back.
Switch back?
Yes. Yeah, he has. I thought that might perk you up a bit.
Come on. Switch back.
Yeah. Is Juventus going to have a go?
Back in it.
Alt holds the inside, but if Juventus can get him on the brakes, he's going to be able to swoop through.
Lovely move by Juventus. Yeah. Brilliant driving from Juventus so far.
This season Juventus has gone to another level. I don't know what it is, whether it's the time now suiting him better or what. I don't know what it is, but he's gone to the next level in terms of pace.
And look at Frederick, by the way.
Yeah.
He closed the gap really quickly. Maybe it's because of these guys bending in front of him, or it's him having the absolute blast of a pace, but he is closed up quickly, and now he's back in the fight, and this is what you want to see. 2 Ferraris and 2 Mercedes fighting for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what we love to see, and this is the only tier that offers something like this, really. And it wasn't by design or anything, it was just pot luck that these guys chose the cars that they did and the teammates that they did.
Yeah, this is looking like real life at the moment.
Yeah. Juventus, the young Charles Leclerc, like upstart. Mitch, the more experienced, were going in on. Looks like he was going for a move there on Alp, trying to put some pressure on.
Yeah, Alp and White lost a little bit on the braking, but Mitch couldn't take advantage of it. You know, this is the thing as well. Like now, you can see the downforce everyone is running, because he's much quicker in a straight line, it seems. And it doesn't really matter where he makes the overtake, because you won't get DRS anyway. As Juventus ran wide onto the gravel, is Elf going for a move round the outside? Nope, he's not. Juventus defending the inside very well.
Yeah. Speaking of Juventus' defending, do you remember in season 2 when I was behind Ricky at Kota?
Yes, when you held you 3 guys or 4 guys off for like half of the race.
Juventus at Australia in this tier beat that performance defensively. Honestly, it's the best defensive display I've ever seen. Seriously, he held Alp off for something like 20 laps, and he was this close in the dry with DRS, and he held him off the whole way.
So these guys got a history together.
Yeah. These 4 have all been battling at the front all season.
That's absolutely lovely. And Tichy puts in a good comment. Looks like the blue sky is starting to come through. And it is. You can see up in the sky a little bit of a blue...
Yeah,
like
it's starting to...
small blue appearance coming up. So it's maybe starting to dry up. You can see it's become a little bit lighter as well. As Groogrox King is retiring from the session. I think he's just giving up on it. I saw him spin twice, so that's probably why.
So to be 2 pit stops down in a race that's going to dry out, it's not going to be helpful.
It will be interesting as well, by the way. Will these Inters hold it until it's dry? Or do these guys need to make another pit stop for a second set of intermediate tires to make sure they can go on to the dries?
Well, I reckon they're about halfway through a stint on the Inters, if that's what they need to do. But that's for optimal pace. I mean, if you were going to stretch them out, I reckon you could get them to maybe like 18, 19. And
yeah, that will be absolutely it.
And these guys will know that. They'll have Jeff looking at the weather forecast, and they'll tell them when it's due to end. So if they need to keep an eye on their tyres, they'll be able to do that. But I don't think they are. I think they're still pushing fairly hardly. Fairly hardly?
Still pushing,
that's not
yeah.
even a sentence.
It's late, doesn't really matter.
Fairly hard.
I see Juventus with the fastest lap time of the race so far, so they're definitely pushing.
Yeah, and it's drying out, it would seem as well then, if that's the case.
Yep, that's a good comment. Yeah, that's really good comment.
And Juventus is burning through a lot of ERS as well to get clear. I wonder if the two Ferraris are trying to plan a stack stop. I mean, it would be a risk, but potentially worth the time you'd lose if you time it right.
If you time it right, yeah, I think if it's on the edge of putting on the dry tires, then I think it's worth going on an extra lap. If it's already on the dry period, I think you need to go on to the dry tires because we will lose too much time to stay out on the inters.
We'll see what happens later on. The gap to the leader from Mitch is currently 1 second, give or take. We can check for certain. Yeah, 1 second. More or less exactly. So Juventus pushing hard to get away, not quite doing as good a job as he would like. And crucially, considering there's these four up front and we've been watching them for a while, the guys behind them aren't dropping away. You've got Bodhard in P5, he's only 3.5 seconds down. If he's running a fully dry setup, he can claw that back. If these guys aren't, then there's Arbar as well just behind him, and then DK is not completely out of the question.
Yeah, you think these guys are way down the order, but Bodhard is only 3.7 seconds away from maybe even P1, because these guys are all within a second really. And you can still see them. You saw on the start-finish straight when we were at the camera at the first chicane. You saw him at the background, and he sees these guys every time, every corner. So he's got big reason to still push and still go on, because if these guys start to battle, if these guys start to make mistakes, he can close up very quickly and maybe he can snatch a podium or maybe even a win.
Juventus runs wide, that's going to leave the door open for Alp. He's broken the toe, but I don't think the Mercedes needs that to get through. Oh, he's tucked in behind, up towards Ascari. He's not going to go for it.
He stayed in ERS mode 0, so he's just saving up everything. 100% ERS at the moment.
And we've got Baker in the pits onto the dry tyres. He's onto the mediums.
Ooh.
I think that's too early. There's still spray about.
It's still raining. It's still raining.
Let's jump on board and have a look. Is he struggling? Oh yeah.
He is. Definitely. Underster City.
Oh, that was way too early. Back to the leaders though. Alp could go for a move into turn 1. But I think Juventus has got him covered. Yeah, he has.
Oh,
he's gone
right.
deep.
Yes, this is an easy overtake for Alp. He made him look like he was gonna go for a move down the inside. That probably puts Juventus off. That's why he ran wide. And Alp takes advantage of it. Really good job.
Yeah.
Great strategy. And now let's see if Alp can put away, because he saved up all of his ERS. So maybe now this is the time to push. When the track is starting to dry up, maybe this is the moment for Alp to try and get away from the 3 guys behind him.
Maybe. Fenrique's putting Mitch under pressure as well, so the track drying out is playing into Mercedes' hands. So you've got to assume from that the Mercedes are running a much more dry-oriented setup. Ferrari's running more wing. Maybe they expected to try and get away at this early stage.
Oh, it's Baker off at Ascari, so these guys need to watch out because they're closing up on it now. Baker is trying to get out of the way. He's spinning into the wall. Oh, Baker, watch out. They all got through it cleanly.
Went too early onto those tyres and it's costing him. He's going to have to come in again now for a new front wing, and what do you go for from that point? And yeah, look at the gap at the front. Alpa's second clear.
Alpa's second clear, yeah. He's pulling away now. He's pushing. He's Is Frederick going for a move? No, he's not. Mitch stays.
Yeah, the two Ferraris are
P3.
creating almost like almost a blockade to stop the other Mercedes coming through.
Keith is there in the chat. He says, "Is there any difference in ERS usage on wets compared to dries?" Well, not with the power, but yeah, it's like, oh, it's Mitch is going for a move on Juventus.
I think that was a multi-21. That was, and then we'll see. We should see Mitch now push on to catch up to Alp, and I reckon Juventus is going to hold Fenrique up, and it's going to be the most frustrating experience being in the cockpit of that Mercedes.
That could be, yeah, definitely. But like I said, yeah, I think you want to be in ERS mode 0 or 1 on the exit, just to avoid wheel spin and avoid losing the back end. On the straight, you just want to use ERS mode 3 high or overtake, like normal in the dry as well. There's no big difference in it. Just for traction, you want to be in low ERS mode on the exit of a corner where you can run off lap or overtake when it's dry.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a traction control noob like I am, in which case generally you can run higher ERS modes for longer and have the same usage, just because you're on the throttle marginally less, so you can have it in mode 3 for the majority of the straight sections. As Fenrique has a look down the inside of Juventus, but Juventus should get him on traction, or no, I don't think he's going to.
Oh, Juventus touches grass, takes out the Pirelli board. Pirelli won't be happy about it, and he lost the position as well.
So you can have a look back at him. Not quite. I think Juventus has burnt his tyres out.
Yeah, and he's low on the ERS. He's struggling as well. And Mitch now, he's closing in really quickly. So it definitely was the right call to let Mitch go through, but now Juventus is struggling, and Mercedes of Frederick got past as he almost lost it coming out of last mode 2.
Yeah.
Tricky situation for Frederick as the tires are going off, but the track is improving as well, and I think it stopped raining.
There's still a couple of drops coming down, I think, but I reckon we're only 2, maybe 3 laps away from slicks. But I reckon that's going to be when... Oh, Fenrique out of Ascari. The back end stepped out. I think they've just had the call. I saw a little green spanner flash up. I think they've had the call.
The team, yeah, all of the top 4 guys are going on.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think the next lap is the time to pit, because the DRS enabled hasn't come up yet.
Fenrique looking into turn 1. Juventus defends well.
Switch back. Nope, not gonna work.
Not got the traction for it. Meanwhile, Arbar's got past Bodhod after all of this. We missed that one. He's up to P5 again.
Yeah, okay, now they're 3.4 seconds away from Fenric, and then it's another 4 seconds to Alp, so they're losing time now, but they can still see a pony spot ahead of them.
Yeah, if they can
the
close
2 guys
up.
battling.
And I'll be honest, I think the big loser out of this could be Juventus. Although, it does play into the hands of Ferrari being able to do a stack stop. Mercedes would have been able to do it anyway in this position. But now Ferrari in the position they're in, if Mitch can close up to Alp, I think... Oh, Raycon's in. 4 dries.
I would pit as well this lap. It looks really dry.
Yeah, anyone else near? See, there's still spray in the first sector, so I'll ride on board with Raycon as he's coming out of the pits, and we'll see what it's like.
Juventus maybe taking the risk. No, he isn't.
No, it's not ready yet. It's not ready
Maybe
yet.
he could have done a little dummy. But he thinks better of it, just stays on the track. Stays at P3 for now. The mission's closing up really quickly.
Yeah, he's...
Again, 3/10 on the last lap. He's pushing. ERS mode 4 compared to Alp. Oh, Frederick gone past Juventus. No, they're going side by side.
Through the Curva Grande, Juventus has the inside, which will become the outside. I think Fenrique gave up on that one.
Oh, he's going again. Oh, he's having a look, putting Juventus off like his teammate did as well. Now get a better exit, but Juventus blocks off the inside. Fenrique needs to go around the outside. That's not doable through Lasma 1 and 2. Nope, it's not. Juventus defends really well.
This is, honestly, if Fenrique gets the Juventus treatment, he's going to need to go and he's going to need a punch bag by the end of this race. Because it's awful.
And this allowed Arbar and Bottle to close up as well, because they gained 1.4 seconds compared to the last lap because of these guys battling. So
Fenrique's got the Fenrique has the spanner on his telemetry display.
Juventus as well.
Yeah, Mitch and Alp don't. So let's see how we go. Alp dummied.
Yeah. Alp tried to dummy.
Juventus dummies.
Not coming in. Ooh, they're playing mind games.
And Fenrique was taking none of it. He had none of it. Alp continues on.
Oh, that's Raycon.
Bodhod goes around the outside of Arbar. And that was a relatively easy move from the Australian. It was almost as if Arbar gave him the place. But let's jump across to Raidcon. I want to see how he's doing. Just behind Mitch on track, so he's just been lapped. I mean, he's coping. Big Slater's in the Racing Point. I still think it's too early. But we'll see how he does.
If it stays like this for 3 more laps, they can even go on a soft tire till the end.
Yeah, if they can get to 17, well, even from 18 if they want to be slightly slower at the end.
Is the soft tire where you want to be on at this moment? Because I know the harder tire is the preferable tire on the sort of mixed conditions. So I think although when it's lap 17, it's early enough for the soft tire, I think you want to be on a medium tire just because of the conditions.
Maybe we'll find out.
Alp is in.
Alp's in. Alp is in.
He's taking the risk.
Juventus is as well.
Arbar as well. It's just the time, I think.
Yeah. Let's keep an eye on Mitch and Fenrique and see how they go. Alp goes to the mediums. Juventus also to the mediums. And Juventus has saved up 80% ERS since we last saw him.
And Raycon lost it again. Is this the mistake that Alp and Juventus are making now? Like Juventus and Alp, they will give the information to Mitch and Fenrique.
Let's see if
he's struggling.
It's too early. It's too early.
And this is a big part for Mitch, because Juventus now will give the information to Mitch and saying he needs to stay out, and Alp will probably do the same to Frederick, but he's 8.6 seconds behind Mitch. So is this the moment where the victory for Ferrari gets secured?
Maybe. Mitch looking for his second win. Juventus looked so deep into turn 2. No, turn 3 even. And ends up getting passed by DTN. Yeah.
DTN is flying past them like they are standing still.
I wonder whether
really shows that the Inter tires are still the best tire to be on.
I wonder whether Juventus just burnt out those Inters and he had to change.
Yeah, if he had to change, there was no other option, but yeah, this is not working as well, so...
Mitch is carried on again. Fenrique is in. So now Mitch only needs to do another 2 laps and then he can go onto the soft tyre. Fenrique is in for the mediums, as is Bodhod.
This is the moment where I get a little flashback to Season 3, Tier 2, Mexico, where we had a wet race as well, and Mitch, he went on, and then he got a puncture on the Inters.
I mean,
when he was leading.
That's one of the best races in COS history though, isn't it?
Oh my god, 100%, but I don't want this to happen. Like, I put commentator's curse on him now, but I'm hoping it's not gonna happen for him. But it's just exactly the same scenario. He's leading by an absolute margin, but is this the time it's gonna happen again? His tires looks okay though. Well, 16 laps on the inter tire is a lot.
See, if I'm Mitch now, and I'm thinking, because he will be having those flashbacks too. We've got a yellow in sector 2 who's gone.
Mitch needs to stay out.
Yeah, he does.
Out. He's coming in.
He's coming in. What's he going for?
I think mediums.
That's the safe bet, and he should be able to get out ahead of
Softs?
Alp.
Ooh, interesting.
Is it soft? It's soft.
Softs.
Go on, Mitch.
Oh, he's going all out. All or nothing for Mitch in the Ferrari.
So Alp coming through the Parabolica now. Mitch should be out ahead of him by quite a way, and should be able to pull away, at least in these early stages, for the first 5 laps of this stint. After that, Alp will probably start to close in.
Yeah, Matrix is even in the chat as well, and he says Mexico GP flashback as well. Yeah, we all know it, because that was a brilliant race.
Yeah,
and Alp is struggling on the medium tires, and Mitch is looking quite solid on the softs, to be fair. He's not struggling at all.
Yeah, Alp, I think, maybe because he went too early, those tyres are cold. With it being so damp out there. And Mitch...
Look at the difference between Alp and Mitch. He gained half a second in just one corner.
Yeah, I think those soft tyres, because the softer compounds I thought were better in these conditions because they warm up quicker and they hold the temperature, whereas the harder compounds tend to... Ooh, a little bit of a drift from Mitch to Ascari. New underwear, please.
Yeah, TC as well. He says as well, soft heats up a lot faster. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Alp's tyres are cold because it was still wet. And Mitch is obviously come straight out of the pits, straight out of the tyre blankets, and now, with the track just drying, he's in prime position. All he has to do is look after those softs now to the end, because 11 laps is a long way on them. But I'm sure
Enrique and Juventus battling going into Parabolica. Enrique is pulling off the switchback in Parabolica. Absolutely, the scenes right here.
It's not over yet. Squeezes Juventus.
This is a track race.
Who's got the least wing? I think it's Juventus. But he's on the grass. He's not going to stop that. That's not stopping that Ferrari.
Oh, but turn 1 is stopping the Ferrari, and Arbar's going with them.
Yeah, and Juventus has given that position back, so after the race, if he sends that in, he'll get that 5-second penalty taken off. So he's conceded the position and he's lost time as a result as well. But through all of this, look at P3.
What? I was just switching to him. Yeah,
P3
exactly.
Timed his pit stop well. He's leapfrogged Fenrique, Juventus and Arbar in the pits to get himself to third, and he's third by... He's in a solid little position there. I mean, I'd expect Fenrique and Juventus to catch him before the end of the race, but you never know.
You never know, and maybe if he can stay within the DRS when they overtake him, he got a chance. And I haven't seen him picking up any penalties, and I've seen Fenrique and Juventus picking up penalties, so maybe if he just can stay within 3 seconds, he's on for a podium spot today.
Maybe. Let's find out.
Yellow.
Sector 3 yellows.
Yes, for DK. He was off at Ascari and he lost his left front wing. Left side of his front wing is gone.
Yeah, so that'll be a stop for him, but he can go from softs and go straight to the end. No worries from that. Guys behind him coming through need to be careful. That's DTN and Wing It. Yeah, DK's going to come into the pits. Get a 5-second. Yeah. I suppose the good thing for DK is that he's not going to lose any more places. Slater's so far back. He's not going to lose.
he had to cut the chicane, and that allows DTN to get the better run, and it's DTN up to P7 now.
I said DK wasn't going to lose another place. He had 5 seconds already, and then a wing change on top of that, so Slater will go through. Fenrique is out of DRS range of Juventus for when that starts, but it gets a tank slapper coming out of Lesmo 2, takes out the other DRS board, and Juventus now closing in for the kill. We could see a move down towards the Parabolica from him. Let's jump on board. Mitch, fastest lap for the second consecutive time.
Yeah, Mitch is destroying everyone. He is just lightning quick on the dry tires. Juventus closing up on Parabolica. He's looking really close now, but Enrique gets the better exit. Juventus will get the DRS, but is he able to get past?
He's going to go for it, surely. On the brakes, thinks better of it, tucks himself in behind. Gets a tighter line through. Does he get the traction on exit?
Oh, look at the difference.
He's going for it.
Oh, he has to cut that one.
Strong defence from Fenrique. Juventus getting a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
But all the while, the Alfa Romeo Varvar is lurking in the distance. 1.4 behind these two, and they are battling, so we'd expect him to close in.
Yeah, and this allows a bottle to pull away as well.
Yeah.
Or at least lets the gap stay as it is, as Mitch puts in another fastest lap. 3 times in a row now.
Mitch is pushing hard. He's got no ERS left. He knows he needs to get away from Alp before the inevitable drop-off in those soft tyres.
With 18 seconds, I think he is safe, to say like that.
You say that. Have they got any penalties, the front two?
I will check. Mitch is on 1 warning.
Classic Mitch.
And Alp is on 2 warnings. So they both don't have any penalties. Saying that, Hold, he is on 2 penalties and 2 warnings.
Ooh.
And he got a single 3-second time penalty for something on lap 18, so he must have cut something. Don't know what happened there, but he just got an instant 3-second time penalty, so yeah. He's on 9 seconds and 2 warnings at the moment, so yeah, he's gonna lose out. Because Fenrique is on 1 penalty, and Juventus, of course, with the 5-second time penalty, which he may can get removed, he's on 2 warnings.
Forza Fredo just set the fastest lap of the race, currently in P10, so he gets the bonus point. And I'll be honest, I don't think anyone's going to beat that. Because the only option to beat that would potentially be Raidcon, but he's still heading round on the Inters, if he's even in control of that car. I think that could be AI controlled, we'll see here. Yeah, I think it is. What do you think, Thomas? Raidcon, is that AI controlled?
Let's see if he is... it's a hard one, let's see on a break-in.
Yeah, I think it is, that's
AI break-in, yeah.
Yeah, so... Oh, Forza Fredo, Big Slater's got a problem.
Ascari, another victim. He's not out of the race, but he lost it.
So he might get the fastest lap.
He lost wing damage as well. Oh, he lost wing. He got wing damage, lost wing.
Yeah, so he could come in for softs and maybe he'll get the fastest lap. That should help Mitch, who is coming up just behind him to lap him.
To be fair, Raidcon is in.
Yeah, Raycon's in, and it's for the softs.
Schultz. I thought it was a mistake on my screen. It said he was still on inters, but it was true that it was still on inters, but now it's horrible.
Mitch with the Ghost car of Baker in front, ready to put him 2 laps down.
And Fenrique, don't know where he got it from, but he closed up 3 seconds in 1 lap. And he's trying to get past Bottle now.
Yeah, I wonder if he made a mistake.
Well, he put away 2.3 seconds from Juventus, so he must have done something right. And Alp picks up 3 seconds.
Yeah, that could be crucial come the end of this race. If the drop off in Mitch's soft tyres is what we expect it to be, so it's effectively a 23-second gap now.
You can even make a pit stop.
Boddard's not giving up. I think he's going to have to tuck in. Yeah. Next in line for him is Juventus. Well, I'm saying that, I'm counting him out of the position for 3rd. He might be able to come back at him, I'm not sure. And don't worry everybody who's watching on stream about any lag from Bodhod and Fenrique in particular. Those guys are from Australia and Brazil respectively, and I'm in the UK streaming this, so the connection from them's not going to be great to me, but it should be fine on track.
Look at Mitch, by the way, he just set the fastest lap time.
Yeah, on 7 lap old soft tyres. Great run from Mitch.
I just wanted to say he's got the gap to make a pit stop and go for the fastest lap, but he just did it without a pit stop, so that's even better.
Boddard just lost the back end a little bit coming out of the parabolic here, and that's going to compromise his run for an overtake back on Fenrique. Penalties could still play their part. I think the front 2 are definitely set, barring any major mishaps. We've got Arbar coming through the Ghost of Big Slater. And then problem for Juventus coming out of the Della Roggia. Goes over the sausage curb and is forced onto the gravel.
Let's see, because Big Slater now, his Ghost car is getting in the way of Juventus, and now Arbar, he got DRS now, so he's closing and he's trying to get that P5 from Juventus.
Yep. These two are going to be battling soon for who's the quickest Canadian.
Contest itself.
Yeah, Mitch just beat his fastest lap again, by the way, if you didn't spot that.
Yeah, he is class of his own.
Yeah, he is. He's still pulling away. Those tyres should not, they should not be lasting this well. Oh, but Big Slater's, that's a Ghost car though, that set that time.
No, I think it's ghosting because of the new changes Codemasters made. If you are a lap car, you will be ghosting. So
good point. Yeah, good point.
He is still driving, but you just can't take someone out when you're a lap down. So that's why. So he is still the one driving the car.
Yeah.
But because Juventus is he's a lap down compared to Juventus, he's ghosting when Juventus is too close to him.
Yeah, he still needs to get out of the way of Juventus though, if he can't pull away.
Yeah, you see the blue flag, so he's definitely getting them. But at the moment, it's not like Juventus got like any dirty air or something, because he is far enough to not disturb Juventus.
Forza Fredo in for a fresh set of soft tyres. He's going for that point in 10th place. Let's have a look. Fastest lap from Slater. Excuse me everybody, I just had to yawn. It is 2 o'clock just gone. Excuse me that at least. Fastest lap from Slater is a 26.7. So Mitch needs to find 4 tenths if he wants to get it back, which I mean, he was on a charge lap, like a recharge lap last time I saw him, and he is again on a recharge lap. 23 seconds the gap behind him. So I wonder if he's going to recharge for the rest of this lap and then go again on lap 27 and see if he can do it. Although
No, it would be risky on the last lap.
you just want to bring it home, don't you? Really?
Yeah, I'd rather take the 25 points instead of pushing and then crash, because you want the 26 points.
Yeah.
Like that's me. That's probably why I never won a championship. Or fair enough.
No, I'd be the same in that position. But I mean, let's be honest, neither of us are seasoned winners.
Nope.
Well, you've won. Have you? You've won more races than me, right?
I've won 3 or 4 races.
So I've won 3. But you've competed more races than I have either way, so.
Yeah, I'm in contest of speed since the beginning, so that's probably why. So it's not really fair that.
No, you're one of the real OGs.
Yeah, together with Fallen, our true legend.
Yeah. He won't be watching, but if he ever watches this back, I'm not sure if he will or not. But we love you, Fallen. We do.
Yeah.
Big Slater again, new fastest lap. Is that 26.1 he's just set? It is 26.1, a second faster than Mitch. But we're on board with our race leader as he heads up towards the infamous Ascari chicane for the final time. Comes through it unscathed with 1 corner to go. We're going to see a Ferrari win at Monza, finally.
Finally. Because 4 days to see it. Oh, we got it.
Mitch rounds the Parabolica, powers for the line in front of the Tifosi, wins at Monza with a new fastest lap to boot, 25.4.
He went for it. We said he wasn't gonna do it, but he did.
He went for it, and I'm not sure anyone's going to be able to top that. Forza Fredo comes through. He can't do it. I think the only man that might is Big Slater, and he is pushing. So we'll see now. Alp comes through in second place. Fenrique third. Oh, Slater got it on the last lap to take it away from Mitch. Juventus keeps P4, Arbar P5, Bodhod P6. DTN pushing as well. Maybe he can get the fastest lap and a point. Nope, stays P7. Wing It coming through now, P8, and the last man who will finish P9 when he gets to the line is DK88. He's just come through Ascari, so he has 1 corner to go. And then, while we're waiting for him to finish, if you guys can get your driver of the day votes in the chat, although I think it's fairly clear cut.
Yeah.
Finishing 30 seconds clear on a tyre that should have died laps ago.
Yeah, and it's not like he pulled away from the beginning of the race. It's with 10 laps to go, he pulled away 30 seconds. That's even more ridiculous. Mitch
showing why he's the championship leader and why he's the championship favourite. Ferrari wins at Monza for the first time, I think, ever in Contest of Speed? Oh no, Ricky won last year, didn't he? In the Ferrari.
Yeah, because Matrix and Ricky were dominating last season, so yeah.
But for the first time since Season 3, Tier 2, Ferrari wins, and it finished again. This race started as a Ferrari in a Mercedes sandwich, and it finished the other way around. Mercedes in a Ferrari sandwich, with Alp and Fenrique second and third, Juventus fourth, Arbar in fifth, Bodhod sixth, DTN seventh, Wing It eighth, DK ninth, Forza Fredo takes P10 and the final point. Big Slater gets P11 and took the fastest lap, so no bonus point for anybody. Then Raidcon, Baker, the Undercut, and Grugrox King are DNFs. Or they left the session. So, let's get our top 3 in. So we want Mitch, Fenrique, and Alp. If you can do the honours for me, Thomas.
Yeah, definitely.
While we get these guys in for a chat, we're going to run a quick ad break as well. So we'll see you in 30 seconds, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I'm just hoping that ad has actually worked this time, because before now it's not worked and people can still hear me. I remember when I did the first one last week, I was in there with Pure Blades.
Oh yeah, then you could still hear you.
Yeah. I just carried on talking. I was like, right, is that started? Yeah. Alright, sweet. It just hadn't. It was still there.
And like Fenrique
he's left the lobby, so I can't spell it for
I
you.
can suggest him.
That'll do.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, he got offline, but we'll try. We will try.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, we're all back. Let's start with Alp while he's here. P2. On the inters you were lightning quick, but when it came to putting on the slick tyres you seemed to drop off the pace a little bit. Did you run a particularly wet oriented setup, or was that just outright pace?
No, it was due to strategy. My setup was quite similar to my dry setup, so well, congrats to me firstly. I think he pulled off an amazing strategy, and yeah, I wanted to go to soft sit, but my inters were so worn out that if I had stayed out a lap longer I would have been punctured, so I went with mediums thinking that they would last to the end and have good consistency. They just got the temperature, and I didn't beat my interpersonal best until like 5 laps to go. So yeah, I was slow due to that.
Fair play. Was there at any point on the interstint where you were stuck behind Juventus, were you getting flashbacks to Australia?
No, not really. I knew I could get past them if I forced an error, and it was a good battle. I was saving my good swim too. It was very clean, and I'm very happy about that. But I knew I could get past at the end with distracting Monza.
Okay, fair play. Well, congratulations on P2.
Thank you.
Hopefully we see you again next week when we head to Russia.
Yeah, thank you for commentating, and congrats to Mitch again.
No worries.
Thanks, Alp.
Mitch, win number 2.
They always said when they fall, when I'll get one, they'll just come in bunches. So I'm hoping that just keeps going. I'm actually more excited about this one because that was how do I say it? That was a typical Mitch race, I think. I love those type of conditions where you just don't know what to do strategy-wise. So that was a lot of fun. The first, I don't know how many laps it was that we were all just stuck in a train, was really stressful because if you touch the brake pedal being on a dry setup, it instantly just wanted to slide. It was horrendous. I don't think I've ever driven in conditions where literally touching the brake pedal made the car want to snap in a circle.
Well, I mean, we were comparing that to Mexico last season.
Yeah, but this time I didn't get a puncture, so...
Yeah,
I got flashbacks.
I'm pretty sure Alp, and I know for a fact Juventus, were having major issues with tire wear on the intermediate. Because when I asked Juventus what his tire wear was, the same lap that outpitted, he was near 80% already, and I was still at 60. So
yeah, I was 75.
yeah, so I was still at 60. I think I was at 62% or something like that, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna try to do what I did at Mexico in Tier 2 and hope to God it never hits 80%. But honestly, the dry tire probably wasn't quicker until the last 4. Well, I mean, I was quicker on it, but that was because I think I was able to get the temperature into the soft a little bit better than the guys that went medium. But I didn't start really starting to beat my lap until, 3-4 laps on the soft tire.
Yeah, I mean, we were amazed. It was because you were on 7-lap old softs, and then you went and smashed your time again. And then on the last lap as well, you went for it, but Big Slater took it off you on the last lap.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I mean, Fredo took it off me first. I was really contemplating. I didn't really know what the window was to pit and try to go for it, just because I'm thinking that the extra bonus point for fastest laps might come into huge play later on in the championship. But I had Juventus pulling the James roll on me with Valtteri at Australia this past season, telling me the win's in the bag, don't risk it, so I just listened to him.
Fair play. I was saying, Juventus did. It looked like he did a really good job in the team front, holding up Alp on the interstint. And then once he got through, he let you go. Was that the case, or was it were his tyres just so worn at that point, and then he just needed to drop away?
So, no, I didn't really have the pace at the beginning. The car, like I said, it just felt it was really slidey at the beginning on the wet, and the few laps that I did follow Juventus, he was actually quicker. It was like he was able to get through the corners quicker, where I felt like I was tiptoeing the whole time. But once the tire wear started kicking in, I could really tell a difference. So he did end up letting me through. It was kind of like a last-second thing. He's like, go through, and I was like, this is a terrible spot to do it, but we're going to do it anyways. So, I don't know. I think he made a mistake with his setup. I think he probably would have had a better chance of being quicker in the wet stint if he wouldn't have made that same mistake. And it was all on differential. He had his differential up to like 90 or something like that, which obviously isn't going to do you any good in the wet.
No, that's true. I was just going to burn through tyres, bless. But you live and you learn, don't you?
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's always 2020. But the important one is the win for you. 25 points for Ferrari, for yourself. Keep yourself at the top of the championship. And myself and Thomas, albeit neutral clearly as commentators, were very happy to see you get these sort of 25 points.
Absolutely. We're not biased at all.
No, I can't imagine the other Ferrari guys would be biased at all.
No, I mean you had KV in the chat cheering you on. He's one of the Ferrari guys. Fruitful was from Dreamland.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot closer if it would have been a dry race. I think Alp actually probably would have had the better pace in the dry. I did make a huge setup. Well, I shouldn't say a huge setup change from yesterday's race, but I learned my lesson yesterday running 2-3 wings and decided if it was a dry race, I was just going to run 2-4. So luckily we got the wet, and it really didn't hinder me at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, and then I take it, given that you ran more wing, is that why you and Juventus were giving each other a tow in qualifying?
Oh, you caught that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that it's very easily done around this track, so as long as you can time it up right, I think we did a pretty good job at it. Other than my wheel decided to hit the share button as I'm 2/10 up on my fastest lap, and I went straight on through the second chicane. That was sketchy. I hope I didn't mess anybody up doing that.
No, we did catch that as well. But yeah, I think you were all right. I don't think anybody was too badly affected.
I hope not.
Yeah. So, congratulations on the win. You were also the driver of the day as well. As
Thank
voted
you. I
for
would
by the
actually
people.
And I'll give my driver of the day to Bodhad because he seemed to have pretty decent race from what I saw.
Yeah,
back
strategy-wise,
there,
he nailed it. He nailed it.
Exactly.
He was catching me on the mediums. Then I don't know what happened.
I think he made a mistake because he dropped behind Fenrique, Arbar, and Juventus. So we'll have to find out what happened to him. But no, congratulations, you two. Thank you for joining me for a chat after the race. Thank you, Thomas, for being my co-commentator this evening.
No worries.
Thanks,
It was a pleasure. No worries, guys. No worries.
And all that leaves is to thank you all at home for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the race, and we hope we'll see you again next week for more Contest of Speed Americas, where we'll be coming from Russia, from the Sochi Autodrome. But if you can't wait until then, you need your need for speed quenched, and you can tune into our 3 European tiers on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's 10 PM UTC on this Twitch channel. You can tune in then and see some more action. You can see in fact all 4 of us race in the European tiers. I'll be racing on Tuesday, I'll be commentating again on Monday. Thomas will be racing on Wednesday and commentating on Tuesday, hopefully, this week.
100%.
And Mitch will be racing on Wednesday with Alp as well in European Tier 1. So we hope to see you then. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you follow us, subscribe to us if you're feeling very generous. And we will see you all next time. Thank you again very much for watching. Good night.
See you.